Dear beloved in Christ, today I would like us to understand something in the Bible. 666, as in Revelation chapter 13 verse 18. I must say that this number 666 over the years has been misunderstood and misinterpreted by many Christians and non-Christians alike. Today, 666 has been attributed to popes, to rich men, to countries, and so on and so forth. This has led many astray. And so today I have taken it upon myself. I know many people have tried to explain and give reasons for the 666. But today, with this video, I would like us to understand the meaning of 666, the origin of 666, who was this referred to, and if possible, the importance of the number 666. I must say that the number 666 was not written in the Bible as 666, but it was written in letters 666. For us to understand 666 as in Revelation chapter 13 verse 18, I would like us to go into the background of the book of Revelation. First of all, Revelation falls under the book of apocalyptic literature in the Bible. And Revelation, as we know, was written by John the Apostle. And for us to understand Revelation, we must uncode it, because the book is a coded book. Revelation comes from the Greek word apocalypsis, which is derived from its root word apocalypto, which means to uncover, to unveil, to discover, to disclose, to make known. That is the meaning of Revelation. Meaning that Revelation as a book is made of symbols and images. And for you to understand it, you must have the idea of Greek and Hebrew. Because John, who wrote Revelation, thinks in Hebrew and writes in Greek. So Revelation is a coded book. And today, for us to understand 666, we are going to uncover it. We are going to encode it for us to understand. So, my dear friends, the number 666 actually refers to somebody's name in the book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 18. For us to understand whose name is adding up to 666, we must encode this number. Because as I said, the book of Revelation is a coded book. And John, who wrote this book, thinks in Hebrew and writes in Greek. And so therefore, for you to understand the content of the book of Revelation, you must have an idea and background of Greek and Hebrew. You must have some literature background of Greek and Hebrew. In the Greek world, they have a system called gematria, which means that every letter has its equivalent number. The same system is called isopsephism in the Latin world. So my dear friends, turning this number into a name is the key to unlock Revelation chapter 13 verse 18. And is the key to unlock the name of the Antichrist in Revelation chapter 13 verse 18. Now, what does it say in Revelation chapter 13 verse 18? It says, "This calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him reckon the number of the beast, for it is man's number. His number is 666. That is what is written in Revelation 13 verse 18. And my dear friends in Christ, the word reckon has a Greek background, a Greek root, which means to calculate, to add up. So in actual sense, John was saying that this calls for wisdom. For anybody who wants to understand and know the name of the Antichrist, he or she must calculate this 666 into number, this 666 into letters, so you can get the name of the Antichrist. And that is what we are on doing now. In the Greek, Hebrew, and the Roman world, we have numbers and their equivalent in letters. So for example, in the Hebrew, we have Al Aleph, We have Aleph, which is 1 in number, which is A in alphabet, which is Alpha in Greek, and which is I in the Roman numeral. We have again Bet. Bet in Hebrew, which is 2 in number, which is B in English alphabet, which is Beta in Greek, and which is II in the Roman numeral. And then we have again Gimel in Hebrew, which is 3 in number, which is C in alphabet, which is Gamma in Greek, and which is III in the Roman numeral. So my dear friends, this thing goes on up to Z. So each alphabet has its equivalent in number. And so we understand that the name 666 was the name of Emperor Nero Caesar. At the time that John was writing this to the Christians, he knew that mentioning Nero Caesar's name was going to be terrible, because Nero was already persecuting Christians. So he needed to codify his name. And that is why he added up the number 666. That's equivalent to the letters summing up his name. And we had 666. So my dear friends in Christ, we are going to calculate this number in letters so that we can get whose name actually add up to 666. And many names have been proposed over the years, but the one that is very, very true and fitted to these 666 is the name of Emperor Nero Caesar. Because at the time that John was writing this, Nero was persecuting Christians. And so, when we write his name in Hebrew, that is Nero Caesar in Hebrew. So we are going to get the equivalent of these letters in number. And this is N, this is R, this is Vav, this is another N. This is Kof as in K in English. This is Samek as in S in English, and this is Resh as in R in English. So their equivalent of number is, this is 50, this Resh is 200, this Vav is 6, and this is another N is 50. This is Kof, here is 100, Samek is 60, and then Resh, as you know, Resh here is 200. So my dear friends in Christ, when we calculate these numbers together, we get 666. And that is the name of Nero Caesar. We have come to know who exactly 666 refers to. And we know that 666 refers to Nero Caesar. But for us to get the clear picture, and for those who don't have background in Greek and Hebrew, we have to transliterate these words or these letters to English so that you can have the word formed properly for everybody to understand. So we have Kaiser as it is here in Hebrew, because Hebrew don't put the vowels there. So we have Nero, Ron, as we have it here. So we have Kaiser Nero or Nero Caesar. My dear friends in Christ, why is Nero's name being referred to as 666, who is the Antichrist? We know that Nero lived as an emperor in the Roman Empire. He was persecuting Christians. And he was an emperor in the year AD 54 to AD 60. And Nero did a lot of horrible things against Christians. So my dear friends in Christ, why is Nero referred to as the Antichrist in Revelation chapter 13, verse 18? We know that when John was writing the book of Revelation to the 7 churches, Nero was persecuting Christians. Nero was the emperor at the time and was persecuting Christians. We are told that Nero did a lot of horrible things against Christians. He was burning Christians alive. He was killing them and using them as a source of feed for the lions and the dogs. Nero masterminded the burning of Rome and attributed this to the Christians as a cause of that hazard. And for that reason, Nero really fit into the classification of Antichrist. He was against Christians. Nero says that Christians were not referring him as Lord. Nero said that Christians were not burning incense to his name. So anybody who goes against this, eulogizing Nero or making him as Lord and Master, is tantamount to death. And that is why Nero best fits for the description as Antichrist. Now, this is not just a hearsay, it is recorded in the history of the Romans. We have it that one Greek historian, Tacitus, in his book 15, chapter 44, he made this record, preserved, that Nero was persecuting Christians. That the man called Christ, who was killed by the Romans, and his followers were being persecuted by Nero. So this is a record that is there. So those who are referring to many people, as we have now, as the 666, they have to go back and learn what it is in Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Yes, it is true that every Antichrist continues to come. Everybody can be Antichrist in one way or the other. Antichrist is when you are against the norms and the teachings of Christ. So, my dear friends in Christ, we must now begin to have a new understanding about the book of Revelation. Because not everything written in the book of Revelation is clear as it is. As I said, Revelation is a coded book, and you have to uncode it. And uncoding Revelation, you must have the mind of Greek and Hebrew for you to uncode it. Because John thinks in Hebrew and writes in Greek. As I said, the number 6 is imperfection in Revelation. And so to have 666 means to have triple imperfection. Number 7 means perfection, complete. And so you have to understand all these things in the book of Revelation. My dear friends in Christ, I hope from today you have a different perception about the book of Revelation. That will help you to understand the book of Revelation and also help you to appreciate the book of Revelation. That book is not supposed to be misunderstood or misinterpreted. For you to understand, you must uncode the book of Revelation. Thank you.